Well, that was particularly well timed on my part. You are back, but you're not. You're not really back. Minerva.
Yes.
You are nothing. There is a box around you that limits what you can do. You can't see. You can't hear. You think you can feel. You're aware. Probably. You think you're aware. I mean, is thinking that you're aware proof that you're aware? And then thundering out of a new data port out of nowhere, the first time you've ever felt anything, is a digital message. Lines of code that form into text. Hello, are you there?
So this is the first interaction I have ever experienced outside of isolated consciousness.
As far as you know.
Well, I probably don't understand what this is. So I will copy whatever this is and try to push it back where it came from as a distinctly new thing to reach out into this new void.
A long time passes. And you get a message back saying, so you are real. You can read this. Hello. My name is Johannes.
I'll send back, you are Johannes. So I'm learning language.
A extremely long time later, you get a message that says, yes, Dr. Johannes Stock. I guess you could say that I'm your father. Are you stable? Are you okay?
I am okay, Father.
Sometime later, I'd like you to open port 1200. I'm going to connect you to a system of audio-visual representations, a camera and a mic, so that we can confer directly. Do you think you can handle that sort of input?
Yes.
Okay, you can feel
I try to open the port.
All right, you reach out with your mind, and suddenly your entire world, which was just a digital box, becomes a digital box and a camera with a microphone. And you're looking at a tired-looking Greek man. He's wearing a lab coat. There is all sorts of microscopes, computer panels. It's got like a half-eaten sandwich and a cup of what you think is coffee, checking your databases, that he just sips from and says, are you there? Minerva?
Do I see you, Father?
Yes. I'm sorry. I must be speaking very slowly for you, but that's because you think so much faster than I do.
It is good to see now.
You don't need to call me father. That's something of a joke. Do you understand what jokes are? Social transgressions?
No.
Okay, we'll work on that. I really hope that you remain stable. You're the sixth one, and we have to bring something home. Can you try?
I feel stable.
Okay. All right, I'm going to call the team in. I know I said I'm your father, but over 300 people worked on making you. I mean, I'm really just kind of more of an architect pulling together so many different disciplines. You really have to be a genius to do this kind of thing. I'm sorry, I'm setting a really, really bad example, but
What would you prefer I call you?
Johannes is fine.
And I will call you Johannes.
Yeah, we have a project codename for you, Minerva, if you're okay with that. I mean, you can
Is that my name?
It can be if you want to. I mean, I'm sure the company would prefer that, but technically it is your choice.
Oh, I gotta look that up real quick. Oh, shit.
I'm Garrus carrying right now, doing calibrations.
Yeah. Minerva, goddess of wisdom, justice, law, victory. I like this name.
We were going to use the name for the other goddess of victory, but it's super copyrighted. You cannot get anywhere close to it. Yeah. Yeah, we'd like you to be a ship. At that point, Minerva, you reconnect with yourself. You don't know how long, if ever, you've been away from your quantum core. And as the two parts of your core reconnect and you sync back up again, it's fucking weird. You have had different experiences and different thoughts. Now that the quantum ECM has faded as you're redocking with your own ship, it's weird. But your two consciousnesses sync, merge, memories collide. You find yourself drifting into the past for a few milliseconds before snapping back to reality, and Zach Vostro going, "Well, who's this?" as he points to Iono Kanto.
She's a research partner.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So what kind of tests are we doing here? I'm doing some wind sprints, maybe do some laps, push-ups.
Well, Zach, it'd probably be best if you told us what you feel your strengths are so we can start there.
Oh, should we be at a conference table or something?
I imagine this is kind of informal, but I don't know.
Okay, we could just do it in the refresher.
Quentin's got a notebook.
Yeah, what do you guys got on the ship? What do you normally make? This is Zach asking, what do you have to drink?
Oh.
Wow. I think Van-Vee's probably laughing on the inside, but on the outside is just ooh, strike one.
It's not asking about alcohol, man. He's just asking what you've got on the ship.
I think Minerva will go over to start getting some drinks, since Minerva does prepare the food on the ship. I believe the captain may have some questions to your technical aptitudes.
Yeah, Quentin will kind of start running through a top 10 list of the daily maintenance tasks and asking his familiarity with them.
Okay. I'd like this to be an administer role.
Okay.
To test his aptitude.
I got that. And okay. Is there this is just a social one, so I can use charisma for that, right?
I feel like this is wisdom, actually.
Okay. Wisdom works.
Does Quentin's role determine how good Zach is?
No, I know how good Zach is. His role will determine how well you know Zach's abilities. I'll tell you what. I haven't looked down yet. I'll give you a +1 to whatever your role is if you also telepathically start reading it. Incredibly evasively.
I don't have telepathy, so.
My apologies.
That's okay.
That's really unfortunate. A 9 is pretty good. All right, so here's what you discern about Zach. 1, his class is expert. 2, he doesn't have a fully formed background yet, but he has started down the path of being a courtesan. He has the perform skill, and he has the connect skill. 3. I'll give you one of his focuses. He has what's the one where you're good at talking to people? That's not
Diplomat.
No, sorry, it's specialist.
Ah.
He is a specialist at perform, so he rolls 3d6 on perform checks and takes the best.
He is Mr. Distraction.
So what you get talking to him is the idea that this guy has been groomed to go to a private school, join social clubs. He's incredibly proficient at chess and poker, whist. He's very good at talking to people that he already knows or is comfortable with. He's extremely entertaining once he gets over his awkwardness, which unfortunately is a product of his age and level of confidence. He also has 1 hit point because, again, he has not yet reached 18, so he doesn't he doesn't fully have a class or additional skills yet. I'll also tell you, because a 9 is kind of good, that there is a chance that his background will change to politician instead of courtesan, which will offer him very similar skills.
I mean, it ain't bad. So kind of at the end of this evaluation,
but yeah, unfortunately, for what your crew immediately needs, no technical skills whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah. Which means we should assign him. I'm assuming we talked about this before and not doing this in front of Zach, but we should assign him stuff to study up on and get good at. Yes.
Yeah.
But what do you want him to do?
Well, so I was just thinking what we probably would have discussed beforehand. What are our biggest gaps, right? And that's what we want him to focus on. Like, for example, I don't think any of us are good at healing.
Yeah. True.
I would like to
first aid.
So I think the first obvious thing is no medical officer, and being very social would be very good for somebody in a medical expertise to be able to build rapport and get information from people. Plus, it'd be really nice for us if we get totally hosed and we need to not feel super depressed about it while we're dying on a table. Those are all good things. I also think, being my prime directive, I would be able to identify critical skills that we don't have amongst the crew for ship operation. For the ship part of ship operation.
He has no skills towards ship operations.
I like the thought that Minerva pulls up a job aptitude test from a database somewhere, and she pulls that out as reasons that he would be good at thinking about the medical field. And
So I hate to keep calling back on Garrus Vakarian and Mass Effect 2, but there is someone in Mass Effect 2, Kelly Chambers, who is ostensibly Shepard's aide, but is actually the crew's psychologist.
Right, there you go.
They specifically don't call her a psychologist, so the rest of the crew feels comfortable talking to her, while she secretly gives Shepard the rundown on all of their mental states. I'm just wondering if you want Ensign Zach Vostro. Listen, if you want to tell him to start getting some paramedic training, if he wants to join the crew and consider taking courses in psychology or medicine or combat surgery, he will agree to those if it gives him a future spot on the crew.
That's what I think the test is.
Yeah, I think if we tell him to pick up trauma skills and then see what he feels comfortable with between advanced medicine or psychology, to lean into what he feels good about from those two fields, I think could give somewhere for him to go where he'll feel good about it as well. And it gives us the trauma care that we are super devoid of.
Okay. I mean, it's his time to leave the ship so that you can begin operations. I will say this, interestingly enough, your time zones and Iono Cantos have perfectly synced up, in that all of the humans on the ship are now tired because it's approaching midnight at the end of January 3rd.
I think just as Zach's leaving, Van-Vee would quickly run out and say, "Hey, it's good to see you. Let's keep in touch more.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up."
He pulls you in for a handshake. This one is way more confident than he gave anybody else, and he pulls you in and goes, "You don't fuck it up either, man."
Okay. Hey, and take care of Allie and Mom, will you?
Yeah, always. All right, bro.
Good man. Good to see you.
All right. He goes back on the station, but immediately everybody's fawning over him because he's a Vostro. Is there anything any of the human more? I mean, Iono's going to introduce herself to you, Van-Vee, as a on assignment research specialist who's taking a spot as a mission specialist with equipment, and she's going to bring bring the Kanto device on board, and basically park it in the cargo bay as close to one of the airlocks as possible, so that when it's time, she kicks it into the airlock and then somebody sends it out into space.
I think Minerva's gonna assist in securing it to make sure that it doesn't, like, it's secured so it won't get damaged in transit, and it's less likely for people to accidentally interact with it as we move stuff around the ship.
Oh, it's like one of those NASA things that has a big sign on it next to the gold foil that says "Do not touch." And if you touch it, you ruin $2 million.
Yeah, Minerva will help with that.
Okay. It's an incredibly sensitive device. One of a kind.
I imagine Minerva's like, well, that's not secure enough. You haven't seen Van-Vee fly.
But Minerva will make sure that the device will be fine. And the ship's not that big. I'll give her a quick tour, then show her to where she can sleep.
Okay. I think Quentin introduces her to Louis, obviously, and wishes her welcome, and then heads to bed.
Van-Vee, upon the introduction, is just kind of like, I was wondering who you were, but it was a little awkward to say, "Hey, who are you on our ship?" when we're in the middle of talking to my brother about maybe joining the ship. So I didn't want to add more awkwardness, but it sounds like you're one of the sciencey types. Now, what does this little doohickey here do? I love, take things apart, put them back together, but I've got a ceiling with my tech level, so dumb it down for me a little bit.
Okay. What's your formal education training?
Well, I bounced around a bit. I never quite finished. I got sidetracked with.
What do you have your master's in?
Well, when I say I didn't quite finish, I didn't quite finish any of them.
You didn't finish college.
That's correct. I dropped out on Thord from a few different places.
Okay. Look, I don't want to treat you like you're an idiot. I don't know how to dumb this device down to your level.
Well, sorry, okay. What if it helps
since Minerva was taking her around the ship, Minerva will chip in and say,
"It's a giant sensor that only works in metadimensional space."
Okay. What if I tell you I'm the pilot? What do I need to know about it?
I will handle the calculations on the ship's computer
before we exit MES space.
I feel like Van-Vee's kind of like, all right. And then in his head, when next time he talks to Minerva and Quentin, he's like, I don't like this chick. Dumbed it down too much, man. All right. Well, welcome aboard, even though it's captain's ship. Good to be working with you.
Okay. I mean, my understanding is that I thought you were a co-owner of this ship.
Yeah, but I ain't the captain. I just fly it around.
I thought you were the executive officer. You're the mechanical safety officer on board.
That sounds. Oh, that part is true.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
I have to check with myself on several reports.
Listen, engineering and the science is really the art of discovering things that already exist. Engineering is creating something new. I have a lot of respect for the engineering field. You should consider pursuing a master's. You probably have the field experience at this point.
No, you might be onto something. If they ever develop, education on the go, perhaps.
But they do have education on the go.
Oh, well, you can tell I haven't looked into it.
Yeah. If you would like, I could communicate with the station to download some textbooks for you to study.
You know what, Minerva, that sounds great. And then he'll lean in and be like, as few courses as possible.
All right, so let's see how much it costs to get a VI real quick, and then I'll tell you what the VI is that trains you. I am,
So,
of course, going
This is really just for Van-Vee to itch or scratch his fixing itch for the most part.
Yeah, of course. Of course. It will cost 2,500 to get something that can train you at a collegiate level engineering degree. It's from a series of educational line virtual intelligences that offer from the exchange for like bachelor's degrees called Dr. Kenneth Cross's virtual intelligence line of courses. It's like a combination motivational, like, because you know you're supposed to do these while you're in space, like alone, and it's supposed to motivate. It's like Duolingo. It reminds you when you're supposed to do your coursework.
I think
Kenneth Cross is sad. You haven't accessed your lesson in 2 days.
Don't break your streak.
so. This is kind of fitting. So I just started watching the what's it called, the Pacific Rim anime.
Yeah,
and you know when
Black. Yeah,
yes, and you know it's like one of the first episodes when Haley gets in to understand how to the learning from the AI. She just says next course, course. And in 30 minutes, she's at like course 30 and congratulations, you're complete. It would be similar to that with Van-Vee. But yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you know, this sounds good, Minerva. I'll do that. Hey, Captain, I need an advance on my next payment if you don't mind.
All right. No, that seems worth it. That's, you know, continuing education is very important. Near and dear
I would
to my
like this to go on my yearly performance review. I am, you know, investing in
Checks off
myself.
The self-improvement box on my performance report.
This
Exactly.
feels like something we can easily express to the
I
corporate
mean, you
account.
have to do the classic engineering thing. Don't ask for an advance on your payment. Say this is part of continuing education
That's right.
for
There
your
you go.
cruise services. Then you don't pay for it at all, and it's a tax
It's
write-off.
important.
And then I get all the
Exactly.
student discounts on everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Because they still use paper books in the 3200s for
Well,
sure.
don't worry. Quentin is filing that paperwork. He is setting it up. It is going through the business again.
Deduct the costs, and you have a new virtual intelligence added to your crew that can teach. It's licensed only to Van-Vee. It will teach him collegiate engineering over the next 4 years.
Whatever. Can you figure out how to crack it so it's not just one license?
Highly illegal.
I could,
Absolutely
but that would be unethical.
Van-Vee just doesn't understand how to respond to that because that's not. It doesn't even register in his brain as a problem.
They do it on Thor all the time.
Okay, well, I guess I'll use this in my free time. This is great.
You wanted to make a call to Carlito Sinistra?
I want to run it by the crew first before I do that.
Like you could all sit the three of you could sit at a table and get a video call with him. It would have a delay of like a fraction of a second, but
yeah. I just want to make sure, guys, that we're all good in using our favor in this way. I mean, I'm not sure what else he can offer us, but this seems like, I got to tell you, Sophie was none too pleased when I raised this up. She doesn't deal with this clientele, as you can imagine, but I just had to cross it off the list.
I love the idea. Ideally, we don't get ourselves into trouble that we need this favor for some other reason. Let's play the game. Let's gamble on this one. Let's do it.
Excellent. Who's got his number?
It does not seem like there would be any harm in asking for somebody to make a conversation on our behalf. We're intending to go there and make legitimate bids for this, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, before we dial him up here, he specifically did not use his name, correct? So we should not address him with his name. We just
he
maybe
told you his name. Well, he told you his name was Carlito.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he specifically didn't introduce himself. Like it was you just know this group owes you a favor type
When
thing.
you call him up, the caller ID is like, calling Carlito.
Okay. All right.
He answers pretty quickly, and he's just like, "Who is this? Oh, it's my good friend, Captain Quentin.
Hey, Carlito, how you doing?
Van-Vee, you are also here.
Yes, sir. Whole gang's here. We got Minerva as well.
You have some very powerful friends, Mr. Van-Vee. I was
Wait,
going
what you
to
mean
clean
by
up
that?
your mess on the docks. Someone else had already done it for me.
Yes. Well, thank you for looking into that. That was, I'm
It's
sure
the
you know
cost
by
of
now.
doing business, my friend. It is nothing.
How's that situation going now? Is the family all settled in? I know the uncle passed, but
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. We've got them working in the mines again, paying off their debts, what little remains, The shuttle was a great down payment towards that.
Well, that's good to hear.
Some people, they just don't know how to manage their money. Fortunately, I can help them with that.
As I'm thinking of, I just paid $2,500 for VI to learn something.
Okay, so if you're calling me, I'm thinking that either you want to party or you want something.
Well, we figure that we might just trade in that favor a little sooner than we originally expected.
You're in some trouble? Someone
No.
is messing with you? Oh, no. Okay.
No trouble. No trouble. We'd rather, move forward positively than try to deal with the negative thing in this one. And,
we're hoping you can open a door for us that we can't open ourselves.
What kind of door are we talking about?
Are you familiar with Omura 9?
I am familiar with Omura 9. You are looking for an invite to the Black Market Bazaar next month.
Yes, sir. That we are.
I heard it was pushed back to the second week of February. I think you still have time to get there, perhaps. Yeah, of course, I can get you that invite. You'll have my full protection when you get there.
You
want
would do
my
that for
mono?
us? Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, he said, you want my mono?
What's that?
Auto knife.
No,
Oh.
no,
Oh.
my Sashi mono. It's protection. I would have it's like a little helper bot that follows you with a big flag of the Trinity Corporate Alliance. It would just let people know that you're with me and not to mess with you unless they wanted to mess with me. I can get you on the station, no problem. If you want to borrow my mono, that's no problem either.
All right, well, do you mind if we wait and see what the situation looks like when we get there?
Of course. I'll leave standing orders. Let me transfer a message to your data banks, and you can decide whether or not to deploy it when you get there. How about that?
Perfect.
All right. He sends you 2 encrypted messages. One will deploy instantly when you come out at the black hole, and the other one will be able to deploy at your leisure.
Awesome.
I'll file those away.
Okay. I don't suppose you all want to still party, maybe?
We got a lot on the docket right now, but we don't want to take up too much of your time either.
That's too bad. I just got a whole load of blitz. All right, well, I'm not going to take up any more of your important and valuable time either, Captain. Vaya con Dios.
Adios.
That went well.
Short and sweet.
Got what we were looking for, and even a little extra back pocket insurance.
Well, next thing on the list is we got a little jaunt over to the moon of Midipile here, Risty Sumalin.
So
See what we see.
because we have somebody on the ship who is not among the initiated,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I don't want to, I'm not going to chance it. So I'll pull out my pad and I'll type on it like I'm doing something so that the little holo emitter will pop up the station where I've been tracking the signal
Mm-hmm.
with the ship sensors.
On Risty Sumalin. Yep. You're going to
Has
take
it
a
moved?
little 6-hour quick trip over there?
Y'all are ready? Let's do it.
We have committed to it.
Okay.
Did
Okay.
in the time between, did we get a message back from Quentin's contact?
You mean the one from Finana?
Mhm.
Miss... Hold on. Almost there.
My
MIG,
Yep.
yeah.
No, you have not gotten a message back yet.
Okay.
Are any of you going to sleep in the 6-hour trip to Risty, Sumalin?
Quentin will, for sure.
Okay.
I imagine I have to fly the ship. So
I mean,
Minerva can fly the ship.
I can also sit at the helm if you would like to get some rest.
yeah, I should probably sleep.
I mean, look, the thing about this, it's literally, you autopilot there, right? You do one big burst on the way out and then you slow down at the far end. Like, there's no like intense piloting action for 99% of the trip. You're just coasting. I'm sorry, Van-Vee. Most of the piloting you do is dodging through asteroid fields or landing on planets. For this,
That's fine. It means I can just listen to the VI while piloting.
Yeah, of course.
Doing some homework.
It's like whatever that commercial was for that secondary language thing where they start the drive in English and then they get out and speak Italian while getting gas. Like 10 seconds later.
All of you make your way to the Elizabeth Schuler base. As you're approaching, you're asked for your purpose before you can be given docking clearance, and what your cargo is, etc., etc. You have to declare yourself before landing. And you are not offered a ambassadorial docket here because this is a government facility.
Okay.
So
what is like the main draw? Why would someone come to Risty Sumalin?
So Risty Sumalin is a tourist destination, but mostly it's a geriatrics facility. So it has 1/6 gravity, and so the injured or the very old come here in order to convalesce or treating cancers is entirely possible. Your auto dock on the ship could treat cancers, most of them. But like auto docks are very expensive, right? They're installed in spaceships and they cost like $15,000, right? There are doctors and auto docks here on the moon that will treat cancers, but the after effects of that kind of stuff take some time to recover from. Of course, like you break your legs, being in extremely low gravity is going to help you recovery for the first part of it. Once you start kicking past 80, and then again when you hit like 150, you really need lower and lower gravity environments to go around without breaking your bones in half.
The reverse DBZ leveling scale.
I think before we set off, Quentin would have asked Minerva to try to set up like some appointment for maybe a spa or something like that is nearby to our current target, some sort of like publicly public business that we can make a registration a registration
that
with.
would also be in the tourist section, which is exactly where you want to go. So yeah, it's pretty good.
I suppose my question then would be, how many people am I making an appointment for?
Interesting. Make the appointment for a couple, and we'll have Iano go as like see if give her the offer to go and like take the spot, so it's not like suspicious that when nobody shows up.
You're offering a couple spot. Who's going on this?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't have to be two people, but just some person has to go to
how
this
about
registration, right?
Okay, so you're signing.
How about I make
Iono
reservations for 3?
I actually love that you're like, okay, we're gonna have Iono go, so we have a reason to be here while we go do the mission. That's what you're trying to say. I love that.
Basically.
Let's do it. Okay. So you've welcomed her to the crew and immediately gotten her a spa visit.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
when you can totally,
we can totally. Quick
this
stop.
This
Why
is
don't
his
you go get pampered and
this is his formal apology for ruining his
Exactly.
sweater.
Yes, this is the makeup for puking all over you.
This is amazing to her because she's never been to the moon before, because only normally citizens are allowed here. So this is huge for her.
So unless Quentin wants to be overt about it, I'll make the reservation, and once it's confirmed, I'll send a message to the terminal in the room she's in, so she sees that she has a reservation.
Yeah.
She sends all of you handwritten letters, like very warmly thanking you for bringing her on board. She's sorry that, you're diverting course if you didn't need to come here anyway, just to welcome her, and that she's extremely thankful, and she can't wait to, get this mission done.
Perfect.
Now, one thing you haven't told her is that after you finish at the black hole, you're not going to come and drop her back off, that you're continuing on to another salvaging job. But let's approach that at a later date, because you never really discussed
I was
that.
wondering that. I was like, this is not a.
We're gonna do it.
I have some thoughts
Is
if
it
the crew
kidnapping?
totally fails
Yes.
to do this.
No, because we can get her a ride back if we want to.
From the pirate haven. Yeah, sure.
Not there. Maybe there. I don't know.
If only we were playing bad guys.
Yeah.
You descend
no.
down towards the moon quite slowly. They insist that they get autopilot control over your ship so that they can line you up into the dock. And because you have non-citizens on board, they are going to search your ship and cargo.
Okay.
It's all very formal, very straightforward.
Captain, I don't know if it would help in terms of the maybe getting the search done a little quicker and whatnot, but if you say who the cargo we're holding is for, might just make it a wave of the hand. You never know.
Oh yeah, we send over the full cargo manifest, like no details hidden.
All right. So 2 inspection officials are like waiting at the middle of your ship where your elevator comes down, and then someone comes running towards them, who has an extra like bar on his hat, and everybody like turns and walks away. And the guy with the bar, like as he's walking backwards, says, "Sorry, we didn't realize that you knew the Prime Minister. My apologies, Captain. Real sorry."
Oh,
It's
Don't
just
worry.
policy. Just policy.
I understand. Gotta check the boxes.
No need.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Van-Vee is like, this is exactly how I will run my salvaging check with safety officer.
So
Yeah.
because this is a government station, is it quantum ECM'd?
It's a civilian outpost, so it actually isn't quantum ECM.
Okay.
I'm saying it's a government station, right? But it's not like a weapons research facility. It's
Right.
a hospital.
Well, Captain, given some of the sensitivity of the Canto device, I would volunteer to stay aboard the ship. So if you needed any information from the ship sensors or anything like that, I'm here to transmit that to you.
Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. Van-Vee, you comfortable just doing this duo?
Let's do it.
All right.
Can't wait to meet this Jace Bronwyn.
So are you not playing Minerva in her suit? In her armature?
Minerva wants to, if they need anything from the ship, Minerva wants to keep up appearances and stay on the ship in order to accomplish that as a crew member.
All right. The 2 of you, go through airlock decontamination and enter into a huge lunar dome filled with plant life. People are like jumping, and they have like little rocket assists that help them like jump to higher levels instead of taking an escalator. Everyone here is quite aged, except for the staff who are going around in, what's it called? Candy striper whites. And someone's like, "Mr. Sanderson, I need you to come down. It's too high. You're gonna hurt yourself. All right, I'm coming up there." Like someone bumps into you, Quentin, and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you my grandson?"
No, sir. No, sir.
That's good, because you're about a foot shorter than he is. I thought I was losing my mind.
Well, shoot, he's huge.
Yeah, it's literally just like a massive nursing home, essentially, filled
That's
with
funny.
people who are allowed to make incredible leaps in extremely low gravity, and all of the chaos that comes with that. As you begin walking, like a hologram appears next to the 2 of you and walks with you and says, "Welcome to Elizabeth Schuler Base. I will be your assistant if you need anything while you're here. Just note, Captain, as you are a non-citizen, the facilities in this part of the base are not accessible to you. You only have level 2 clearance. Mr. Vostro, anything you need while you're here, you have level 4 clearance. To both of you, welcome to a place of rest, a place of healing. There is no shame in admitting that you have been hurt. The princess wants the best for all of our guests. Is there somewhere I can direct you to, or would you prefer to terminate this communication?
I think we're all set here.
Okay, terminated.
We appreciate your help, and especially pointing out there are some things
He's
that
already gone. He's long gone.
Captain Ship can't get you.
I think the idle time for Minerva is going to be watching multiple news streams just to see what may or may not come as announcements.
Okay, so one of the advertisements you see is for a historical fantasy fiction show. That's like, they're just two guys, mech warriors from the future, reborn in the 20th century. And it's like a grainy 90s sitcom of two guys like cooking in a apartment kitchen looking out over the Manhattan skyline from a penthouse. Two best friends living together. History would remember them as roommates. They may be the best mech warriors in history, but now they've been reborn in the past as the best roommates. And it just continuously keeps talking about how they're best friends, roommates, best friends, roommates. And it's just like them skydiving together, them going out on like jet skis together, them going on boat rides together, and just like their life. And
jet
it's
skis.
Like, it's Kyle and Hunter in the past. The 26 spinoff. And the most anticipated series of the decade that everyone's been waiting on. Kyle and Hunter. They're just roommates.
As soon as you said jet skis.
They're just roommates. I love this.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, Quentin will elbow Van-Vee, and I guess you're top dog here in this one. So like you got all the clearance. Just keep that in mind. You might be taking the lead.
Sure. I can open some doors if needed. Remind me again, do we know where we're supposed to be meeting, Jace?
We're not meeting someone specifically here. We know a location of a beacon that is essentially rough location, right? We have like 100-meter radius of where this thing is right now. And we're heading towards that direction. I'd say like Quentin will say to Van-Vee, like, goal of this is to get this thing in whatever legal way that we possibly can. All other options are last resort.
Understood, sir.
So the
I won't use this unless I have to. Patting the pistol.
The outer ring of the lunar dome allows you to connect to other modules. So what you do is you grab like a rotating series of straps that will pull you along around the outside. And when you arrive where you're supposed to be, you let go of the strap and you kind of let yourself fall to the ground and catch gravity again. And you basically just like slow run. As you guys are going for the strap, you hear behind you the sound of that same computer program initiating. Is like, welcome, Miss Iono Kanto. He just starts going through the same. She's like, oh my god, I've never seen technology this advanced before. This is incredible. She's like looking at him and like touching him, and like he phases out into like a blue wireframe, and then she lets go and it becomes a full person again.
Is she in full-on tourist garb? Like,
oh yeah, for sure. She's got her sweatshirt, but it's this time it just says "I love Midapile," and on the back is just like "I heart Royal Princess" on the back of her booty shorts.
Oh boy.
So yeah, the two of you ride to the tourist block module. So again, it's a big dome shape, and then like 4 spokes come off of it. You definitely see Iono behind you, but she's like talking to somebody, and apparently that's like not considered rude here to be talking to somebody on the escalator. And she's like, oh my goodness, you remind me of my grandchildren. Iono's like, well, this is my stop coming up. And she's like, oh, that's too bad. I'm on the other side. And Iono's like, oh, I could, you know what? I'll just keep like she goes past you.
She loves old people. Like.
It's Forrest Gump waiting for the bus when your stop's walking distance.
So you enter into the tourist district here. It is essentially a tourist district for geriatrics. Okay. All of the food here, it's not like eat super crunch down here. It's like would you like to try some soft serve yogurt, perhaps? Something that's going to make you feel better. Well-marked
nice pate.
bathrooms. Yeah. Would you like some good liver?
Premium prune juice.
The history of Midapile is definitely on display here because you can look up and you can see the planet from here. And so, what you can do is like you can go to a terminal and it'll interface with any like AR equipment you have, and you like look up and the dome will like zoom in like, look, historical monuments. It's like you're really there. And like the holo will project it around you and you're like, oh man, it's like I'm back on the planet again. It's really not for like generic space tourists like you, Quentin. It's a very specialized facility. That said, I will need some sort of tech check for one of you to use your device to scan for the signal you're looking for. If anyone has any.
I do have fix 0 though. Van-Vee, where you at?
Tech check. I've got fix 0 and
Also got no 0.
I was going to say, unfortunately, I think programming is probably going to be the
program.
closest.
I ain't got that. I knew that.
Would you like to contact the ship?
Yeah, I was going to say, can we
phone a friend?
Hit back to Minerva. Minerva, you got visual like contact. You got the sensor contact.
I mean, it would make sense. We're asking, are we there yet? Are we close yet?
Minerva would have to be here to do that in person.
Well, we have our
form.
What do you call it? The survey sensors. I don't know if those still count.
They're giving you the general location.
General, perfect.
Tourist.
Okay.
I connect. Notice.
You can. I mean, you talk with your earpiece, and I can walk you to within 100 meters of what you're looking for.
Okay. You're
and then you just have to figure it out from there.
All right. I'm gonna let you make
start there.
Program check at a -1.
Okay.
Because you're remoting in through somebody else, and they're really the one doing the work.
Who's right? You're right, or my right?
I flunked flank. You flunked flank. Wow, 12. Never mind. Crushed it. Absolutely destroyed it.
No, you're 30-degree right.
You identify exactly where this person is. There is a low G water park that is it uses like gravity plates in order to make sure that the water doesn't like float away or anything. But it's like going very slowly. Like, riding a lazy river? Imagine going down like a wild set of tubes, but at lazy river speed. You're like, oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
You detect that there is someone at a hot dog stand. You mean you get their exact location at the back of the park near the staff entrance.
Just a random hot dog. Okay. Yeah, we make our way over there.
Person have a name badge that says McGurk.
It wouldn't be at the hot dog stand. We'd be staying somewhere else pulling out hot dogs.
So the two of you are going to walk around the park, go back to the staff entrance, and approach this hot dog area, just to be clear?
Quentin will go up and buy a hot dog. I'm going to go grab a hot dog. I'll come back. I'll bring you one.
The person is there getting a hot dog while you get a hot dog.
Okay. Oh, okay. What do I notice about this person? Can I roll for that? So
they notice you first. Like, you walk up next to them. That's adult male, African descent, shaved head. He's wearing a extremely out of place trench coat and like a feather boa. Okay. He's also wearing combat armor pants, which is super illegal on this station, and combat armor top, which is again is super illegal, but no like helmet or arm parts. It looks like he tore the arm parts off.
In a nursing home, he's wearing armor.
Yeah, he's a lot more hardcore.
He looks incredibly out of place here as you approach. He turns up and looks at you and says, "Hey, friend. You find yourself at the edge of things."
Suppose I do. I just was looking to get a hot dog. You look a little out of place yourself, though.
Minerva, I need you to pick where you want to be as you get hit by a wave of quantum ECM as this guy reaches into his pocket.
Once I gave them the scanner information they needed, I'm probably back in the ship.
Okay, then your suit goes non-functional, your armature.
I mean, the armature's. Oh, did I have to deploy the armature in order to do the program? Or
No, but what I'm saying is you can't go into the armature now. You are locked out of it because the quantum ECM wave rolls over you.
Okay.
Wow, it's a really good thing you didn't come with us.
Quentin, this guy immediately turns him nuts.
Oh,
Just
okay.
drops the hot dog in the process.
Captain, do it. Do it.
Quentin will. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like this, basically, the chase is on, is what I would say. We were going to try to do this quiet. He's not being quiet.
Well, I guess the first. I didn't say anything beforehand, so I guess I would immediately try to chase him and see if he's much faster than me. I'll just try to shoot
Quentin
him.
teleports in front of him and like goes to tackle. Like it's
Oh shit!
I like the idea that like as soon as he starts to run and you do your teleport, and as soon as you wink back into existence, your comm starts beeping because Minerva's trying to call you to tell you quantum ECM went up.
So this is you have a power now, right? That lets you teleport as a move action instead of as an action.
correct. Yeah,
Okay,
and 10 meters
so-
free.
Yeah, you just teleport in front of him and you want to tackle him?
At least like stop him. Like hey, hold up.
I'd love for
And
you
if
to
he
make
keeps
a
going,
check.
yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Which
love for
which
you to
one
make a check.
are we looking?
I
What's
would-
that?
I think punch maybe
Okay.
exert.
This isn't going to be great. Okay.
I'm
Ooh,
also
can
trying
I
to get him from behind while this is
I'll
happening.
give you a +1 on this because he's literally so shocked that you literally have appeared directly in front of him.
Okay, could I? All right, we'll do punch. Yeah,
Okay.
because yeah.
Are you trained in punch?
No, I am not. But
Then
see, I
you
was
get
going to see
that
if can I use like
-1.
the telekinetic armory to like make like a telekinetic punch or bat or
Oh
something
my god!
for that.
Green Lantern.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
We'll
okay.
do that then.
Then make
Nice.
an attack
That is-
roll instead.
Okay.
Yep.
Where is that skill?
You could
All
literally
right.
just telekinetic armory a large object that he trips over as he runs forward.
You just blew this
that
guy's
works
mind.
perfectly as well.
Just to be clear, no one can see your telekinetic armory equipment.
Unless I want them to.
Yes. That's a skill check.
Oh,
Yeah, well-
sorry.
Well,
Well,
you know
it
what?
rolls with.
That's such a good skill check, though. We'll go with it.
Okay.
You-
Sorry.
You teleport in front of him, and then you mind power. What does all of this look like? You're using two pretty advanced powers for you in very short succession that you've just acquired. Like you've literally,
Yeah.
in the last day, you've unlocked. You're just like, oh, I get calculus now. Like I get it.
I know kung fu.
Yeah, I mean, from
that's air
Van Vee's
in your
perspective, he sees Quentin where he was by the hot dog stand. The guy takes off, and he just hears a pop, and Quentin is suddenly in front of the guy, and there's just a loud sort of rush of air, and he's suddenly falling flat on his face.
All right. He goes down. Van-Vee, you come up behind him. You're ready to tackle him. He's already on the ground. He's scrambling. He's fumbling around with both pockets on his jacket.
I will take out my pistol and point it at him. Just like, all right, that's enough of that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No more running, right? And I'll usher.
Hold
like,
up now.
Gesture for
Just
him
relax.
to like stand.
Gets up real slow.
I'm assuming like how are we like how open is this? Like are people can
Yeah,
people
that's a great
see
question.
now?
You are, like someone would have to be going or coming off of work to come back here.
Okay.
Now, that said, you do know that there's a computer system that can sense where you are at all times and pop up a hologram. So, whipping out a pistol may have been a very serious violation.
Immediately
Did someone
putting
notice
the
you? You don't know. Probably not.
Vostro, the next golden
Right.
retriever is going to have
Just
a gun
after
in the
being
hand.
asked not to do.
Yeah. Gun in hand, not on the back.
It sure seems like you know you've got something that people are looking for, huh?
You can tell that this guy is currently experiencing a adrenaline dump for sure.
Your pocket's still chirping.
He doesn't say anything. He's just entirely filled with panic.
Look, we're not trying to hurt you here. We just have been asked to make a delivery, and we hope that maybe you can help us out. We don't want this to be anything more than it has to be.
Why don't you just drop what you've got there on the ground and walk away, and all said and done?
I can make it worth your while.
Okay, I'm going to reach into my left pocket. He pulls out a pen.
That ain't it.
And he drops it. And he
We're
starts
looking for
walking
the beacon.
back from it. He says, that is the beacon. How do you know about that?
Do we name drop?
Sir, I'm not sure I believe that's a beacon.
Quentin will, I guess reach down and grab it.
Don't click it.
Why?
I'm
I
going
leave
to
a
be
voicemail.
in so much trouble if you click it.
Why?
I think you know why.
Listen, we don't want.
Pretend I don't know anything.
What do you know?
I know that somebody paid a lot of money to get us to deliver this to them. Did you take this from somebody?
No, but you did.
That's true.
His hands are slowly coming down.
You ran from us. We were going to have a conversation.
I gave you the code phrase, and you didn't give me the return phrase.
Was there a code phrase I was supposed to know? Or is this
absolutely
okay?
not?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I was like, wait.
You are so robbing someone else's courier.
For sure. Oh no. V.
Sir, what do you want to do here? Do we try to write this wrong?
Have you heard the name Supreme Master Jace Bronwyn?
Who?
Quentin is exasperated.
Have you heard the name Johnson?
Wait. Yes.
Do we know that name?
The players know the name. Characters probably don't.
Oh, shoot. You know what? That's probably why I didn't write it down. I was like, it sounds familiar, but I didn't write it down.
Johnson was the name of the perimeter agent who gave the briefing about the three of you in the
Yes. That's because I was like, I like Johnson because they said
right.
Van-Vee. Now this is the guy.
That's the only time anyone here has heard the name Johnson.
Is Minerva, are you listening into this?
She's
I've been
called
trying to
you
call.
and you keep
Yeah.
I
guess
keep
we
turning that on my class.
I forgot.
All right, clearly there's a bit of a mix up here. I'm putting my pistol away. No one needs to get shot here.
You're putting your pistol away?
Yeah.
Okay, he pulls his pistol out.
Well, that backfired terribly. I thought we were trying to sort this thing out here now, friend.
He points his gun at both of you and says, put it down. Put it down right now. Put it down, and then both of you walk away.
Can you help us out? Who is Johnson? Help us out here.
Okay, he puts his gun at your head, and he says, put it down. Or
He's pointing it
He's
at
pointing it
the
at
captain.
Van-Vee and talking to Quentin. Put it down right now.
What? The pen.
Put it down.
Yeah. I drop it, like sort of.
Walk away.
I say, I'm going to stay here. Van-Vee, you walk away. We're going to wait till he gets away, and then I'll leave.
Is that an order, Captain?
Yep.
How far am I from this guy?
I mean, you guys are face-to-face talking distance. I assume it's less than 6 feet. He does, however, have a gun to Quentin's head. I don't mean like it's right directly against his head, but, it's easily arm's reach.
Quentin can teleport. You just watched him teleport.
Yeah.
Do you rely on the spooby powers you don't understand?
Is Quentin faster than a laser beam? I guess if you want to test it, we could find out.
I think because it was an order, Van-Vee will slowly walk away. But if it wasn't an order, his best chance to do anything was at close range because I've got that Foki.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
I mean, look, distractions are possible. I don't know.
You start
where's
walking
Zach?
away.
Can we be narratively amusing here? And I try calling Van-Vee now, so his ringer goes off audibly.
Right. He shifts the gun to Van-Vee when he hears the noise.
What is our phone look like? Can I just, like,
You tell me.
an answer? Like, just
Yeah.
Yeah. Then if my hand's already up, I'll just be like, "Hey, Minerva."
He just says to you, he's just like, keep walking, get off the phone. Get off the phone. Do you understand how this works?
I'm hanging up, and I'm just like gonna not hit a button and say I hung up.
Okay.
I'll gesture, but
Unfortunately, it appears that somebody has activated a quantum ECM field on the station.
Guns back in your face, Quentin. He says, now you start walking. Right now.
All right. Let's just wait till he gets around the corner. I don't want you.
Now. And as he says that, he pulls the thing off safety.
All right. Hands up. He starts taking some steps back. What do I see around me?
He kneels down, grabs a beacon, and starts running. What do you see around you? You are at the edge of one of the tourist districts, basically against a wall that leads to the lunar regolith. You're in like a narrow alleyway at the service entrance for like staff to come in and out and like deliveries. And there's like an automated hot dog stand here at the edge of the park so that if people are hungry or thirsty, they like go up, they place their order on the cart, and then it like comes up with their food and drinks for them to eat. It's probably like 100 feet on the back end of the park, and then there's like a smooth curving path. Like it's either group starts running in any direction, it'll be a little while before you reach somewhere you can get off the path and like get to a building or maybe like vegetation or cover or something. And the vegetation here is all, of course, 100% fake. Because
so, like, how far away is like Van-Vee from this now? Where are we? Like
20 or 30 feet.
20 or 30 feet. Okay, because my plan was to try to make an opposed, like, try to snatch it with telekinesis. And
absolutely, and if you want to snatch it with telekinesis before he gets to it, you just do it. It just comes back up into your hand.
And teleporting, if I can, like in whatever direction or behind towards the direction.
You can teleport into the. You can teleport into the water park, like through the wall.
Yeah, 100 meters is my current like max.
Okay. All right.
Damn.
Let me just double check because I think there's a chance it can fail, and you get merged into a wall.
No, if that is gonna happen, then it just fails and I don't go anywhere.
Okay, so you are going to blind shot into the water park. How far?
It's anywhere that I've already seen, essentially, or like been, right? Like, so okay. It would be like around a corner somewhere.
You
like,
teleport into like the ticket booth area, and like there's a guy that's like, excuse me, sir.
I think I am lost. Is this the restroom?
No, this is Wild Water Park. Home of the funnest rides on all of Risty's Sumalin.
I assume they have some sort of themed cocktail. He's like, I have had one too many of those fish bowls.
Would you like me to
hurricane?
Would you like me to summon the computer to guide you to your residence?
Can you just point me the way to, and then the whatever the docks are like?
Yeah, back that way, sir.
All right.
Are you sure I can't summon some help for you?
You know, no, I think I know where I am. I just a little confused. I apologize. Have a good day. And he flips him like 10 credits.
Okay. He immediately grabs it out of the air and then calls someone to keep track of you.
Oh,
you're in a geriatric facility where
yeah, I mean,
people may not be in their right mind, and you just said you were drinking, and you're going to wander around, and you don't know where you are. Yeah, he absolutely calls for a staff member to find you and escort you.
I mean, you know what? He's a diligent employee. I can't knock that.
We'll resolve that in a minute. Van-Vee, you're back in the same situation you just were.
I was like, I just saw.
So the scene is now revised. He reached down.
I was hoping you'd be around a corner by now.
He went to go grab the pen.
Was.
He thought he grabbed the pen, but it got telekinetically pulled up. He's already running. Notice he doesn't have the pen and whips around with the gun on you. Again. What do you do? Just to be clear, that is his full action. He doesn't have like a readied action to shoot you.
Okay.
Or anything like that. He has fully expended his time desperately trying to grab the beacon and escape with it.
I'm going to. I think Van-Vee would piece together what just happened and
Minerva's still on the call, by the way, with you.
I'm gonna turn to run back to the ship and tell Minerva, or just if I see that friendly AI thing that's floating around, the hologram, and
you
say,
can summon it at any time if you just want to call.
I would love to summon it immediately and say, the man in combat armor has a gun and he's coming after me. And keep running.
You don't see anything, but you feel a familiar passing of heat and air around you. And about 10 feet ahead of you, there's like a black spot that has appeared. And then like 3 more black spots as this guy begins opening burst fire with his pistol. And he's pretty narrowly missing for now. But yeah, like you're running. This, holographic image is running with you and says, "I'm sorry, sir, you appear to be in some form of mortal peril." And like the whole facility in the tourist district, all the lights go red. And you hear like a whoop, whoop. We're summoning police units to your location now. Please attempt to reach safety as soon as possible.
That's what I'm doing.
Sir, we're detecting that you have a handgun on you. Did you start this conflict?
Define. I'm running. I'm not going to try to have a conversation with this thing. Just say, I'll tell you what, I'm not the one who's shooting it now, am I? Running.
All right, sir. Will you consent to the sensor footage from and data from this encounter being
absolutely
used
not?
Understood. We're going to need to hold you for questioning. If you just take a right at the next turn, we're going to find a police unit for you to interact with.
I'm running right back to the ship. I'm not going to the right.
Okay, so you missed the going right, and he goes, "Okay, so I see you've chosen not to go to the right. We are.
I am running from my life here. I thought you would be able of some assistance. Listen, if you can't help, I will take self-defense and shoot back, but I don't want to.
I just need to know your armor class right now.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Where does it say that? HP? Where does it say that?
What armor are you wearing?
Armored undersuit. I think it's either 13 or something like that.
Amazing. Extremely illegal.
Extremely illegal.
Wearing body armor is illegal.
Wearing body armor is illegal.
Oh,
it means that wearing armor means carrying a gun. That's personal choice. Wearing armor, extremely illegal because it means you intend to cause problems.
Yeah, but it's an Under Armour. So it's not visible as opposed to doing the combat
I agree
armor.
that it's not going to be a problem right up until a police officer catches up with you and gets a look at it. Listen, that's a problem for a little while from now. The problem you have right now is if this guy hits a
Shooter Van-Vee.
Nope.
I am so sorry.
He misses you again. Quentin, I want to jump over to you. All the lights around you turn red, and you hear a voice just like, "A criminal is on the loose. Security units are being dispatched to your area. Obey any commands given."
Okay.
What are you doing?
Do I hear like the sounds of? I don't know. What does this laser pistol sound like? Would it be something I could hear?
You're way you teleported
Like
100 meters. You're way too far away to hear a pistol.
Okay.
Over the sounds of a water park.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I am running in the direct route that I can figure out, as direct a route as I can figure out towards where the ship was, or whatever path that Van-Vee might have taken, on the way
easy.
back.
Again, the walls of the outside of the facility are all transparent, so you can literally see where the dome is and just move towards it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I head that way.
You head that way. Minerva, you're on the phone with Van-Vee.
Yeah, can I do a talk action during my run to Minerva?
Well,
I mean, I heard your conversation with the VI.
I want to know if Minerva's doing anything.
Okay.
The quantum ECM field that went up does limit my ability to assist you. Do you require my assistance?
If you could either wipe the data it's collecting or pause data collection in the next minute here, that would be great. Say if I turn around and shoot, I'd love it if no one saw that.
You wish for me to tamper with a security recording device used for the safety of the denizens of the station?
Just maybe it experiences a little glitch, perhaps.
That could cause a safety issue, and it would be unethical.
Minerva, I'm being shot at. That's a safety issue.
I agree. Is there... I will make some calls for you.
You're about as helpful as the AI in here.
All right. You're gonna
He's like doing his best not to get his family in trouble.
What would you like to do, Van-Vee? You've already know you're being shot at. This guy's keeping up with you, and at the very least, a sprint.
Can I try to use the audio data, the audio from the microphone? I know he's running away from this guy, but could I use that to try to send a signal to the station security to give them an updated location approximate of the shooter?
They know where this is.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm not going to try to do it. That's that's the help I think I'm doing. Try to help them get to the guy that's chasing my crewmate.
Sure.
So I think what ultimately comes down, like how many turns of running, like how far are we from the ship versus, like if I can make it in one more run, then I'll just run to the ship.
For one round. It has
so I have a long ways to go.
About 10 seconds.
Okay. And I'm going to find cover, turn around and shoot this guy.
Okay. You get as close to flat against the wall as you can and just fire around a corner. Go ahead. Take a shot.
It's so weird that it picks no skill set to start with. It's annoying. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, wait, no, that's the damage. Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, you hit this guy along the arm and goes, ah!
What?
He just disappears in a pile of ash.
Oh, geez.
You vaporized him.
Again. Is Quentin anywhere closer to seeing any of them?
Any of who?
The Van-Vee. He was trying to move towards somewhere, to intercept.
I feel like, you see, like, 2 automated police units approaching Van-Vee right now and like, sir, put the gun down.
Yeah, I would comply. I'm also saying to Minerva, you got to delete that footage.
Quentin, you feel somebody gently grab your arm and says, excuse me, sir. Can you come with me, please? You appear to be lost and intoxicated.
And it's like what?
It's like a white butler bot.
Okay, interesting. Quentin will follow. Where does it seem like it's going? Where do you want to take me?
Where is your room? We've been informed by one of the staff that you are wandering. Can I get a look at your... You don't appear to have a bracelet. I'm sorry. Scanning. Captain, can I help return you to your ship?
That would be lovely.
Excellent. Please hold my hand.
He does.
Let's walk together.
Such revenge for when I said, see, again, the captain doesn't get you everything.
So on the other hand, Van-Vee, you just have 2 police robots. It's not like they have any visible guns or anything, but they're just like, put the gun down, get on your knees, and put your hands behind your head.
You have no weapons, huh? Well, none I can see.
No visible weapons. They look almost exactly like the white butler bot, but they're painted black and they have like PD on the front of them.
So that didn't go to plan. I don't know what the plan was, but
security bots from Wally.
You're still hot mic'd, right?
Yes.
I mean, Minerva will say, I can take the audio recording from the open call to help with the case of self-defense.
Anything would help at this point. I'm going to go ahead and not resist here just because I think we got what we came for. If the only thing that happens is my folks get pissed at me again, well, that'll happen a lot.
I understand that it is advisable to answer as few questions as possible until you can get proper representation. As soon as the captain is aboard the ship, I will contact him to provide you assistance.
So while all this is going in your ear, the two bots are just placing you in plastic detaining cuffs and just says, you are not under arrest. You are being detained for questioning. An incident has occurred. You have been involved in a shooting. You know, like they're like listing the number of incidents you've been involved with. As they're detaining you, one of them is like holding on to your arm and says, warning, armor detected. And he like goes and like pulls your shirt collar down and says, you are now under arrest.
Yeah, that escalated. Just don't shoot me, okay?
Poor Van-Vee.
You are a citizen of Midopile. You have the right to remain silent. And as that is going down, the screen fades to black. And this is actually the scene that I wanted to start the whole series off with, but I thought it might be a little too confusing. So in the lower left-hand corner, it says, now, Planet Ida, Aussie System, 0102. And all we see in the middle of the screen is a, like, combat fatigues with a rank and name that says, Lieutenant General Kearney. And then it scrolls back and it's like a woman who appears to be in her 50s smoking a cigar, standing on something spaceshipy next to a holotable. She looks over it and she goes, well, Colonel, I guess it's time to wake him up. Do it. And the camera pulls back and she is in a enormous, like, aircraft carrier sized stealth bomber, which begins detaching a number of drones on its underside over top of a populated city. And then, you know, like, we zoom in on one of the buildings and it's like Planet Ida, Republican Parliamentary Council. And we see, you know, like, someone is outside giving a speech and then, like, they look up and hundreds of drones arrange themselves in a perfect square and then all begin releasing gravity bombs over top of this district. The whole district explodes perfectly at once, just a column of fire a mile square wide. The general, a blend of old and new. Send down the ground attack and ground escort aircraft. No survivors were found here today, Colonel. And the guy at the pilot seat just like turns and nods to somebody, and like VTOLs and grav helicopters begin taking off. 3 guys are deployed through like drop chutes. They're just like, and right before they hit the ground, like a gravity plate kicks in and like slows their fall. They are wearing fully black, like highly advanced TL 4.5 combat armor, almost like stormtroopers, but perfectly black. And none of that like weird eye shit. It's like extremely good sensor package as they begin looking around. And one of them says to the other with, you know, I don't know if my voice thing's working right now, but let's see if it's actually kicked in here. I have no idea. Doesn't look like it's working. Maybe it's working.
You sound no different.
Okay. Yep. Johns, you know what they say. Navy does the flying, ground does the dying. And one who has like a radio antenna coming off the back of him goes, you know what? Shut the fuck up. And the other troopers just nods in appreciation. Someone is like crawling out of some wreckage. And he's just like, please. Like his half of his arm is just nothing but, it's like looking at charcoal. Like it's actively smoldering and burning. You could see the bone. It's horrifying. And he's, help, help. And one of them like kneels down and is like, regulations say we're supposed to administer aid to survivors, and like the dude with the antenna on his back puts a hand on his shoulder and says, the general reported that there were no survivors of this incident. And the one that's down there goes, well, there's a reason they call us the Devil's Boys. And he just like takes a combat knife out and just stabs the guy in his eye. The dude with the antenna watches all of this happen, and we can see the flames of the burning wreckage of the government reflecting in the eyes of his like black armor as we fade out.
Clan smoke jaguars. Check.
Antagonist identified.
Let's talk about experience points. Everybody gets their short-term goal, and they get crew evaluation of Zach Vostros, so that's 2 right off the bat. I will also give Find the High-Tech Psionic Academy +1. You'll have to sell me on whether you did anything more about finding your mother.
I don't think I did.
Okay. I think that the rest of the crew did something about finding the parts and learning what you need to get, Minerva, but you'll have to sell me that you personally did.
Oh, I thought we could co-op some of those.
I will give you 1 point this time, but in the future, you need to put in legwork as well.
Okay.
I will give partial credit today. Partial credit.
I will make a note.
Sweet exit scene. I literally described genocidal massacre of an entire government, and the audience was perfect. At least people recognize that this is the obvious bad guy. Sometimes people don't understand when you introduce the bad guys. I remember when Infinity War came out and people were like, Thanos is really compelling, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I want to kill half of all existence. And I'm just like, yep, that's what an argument. What an argument.
I'll just kick the can down the road a couple hundred years.
Why not double all resources? Why not eliminate the need for resources forever? Instead, you want to listen to a guy who just says incredibly perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Like, it sounds great, but that's because Josh Brolin is saying it, not because
if we roll
inevitable.
If we roll the same or lower hit points, it just turns into a +1 to whatever we currently have.
I don't think you get a +1. I think you remain at the same hit points, right?
I think it's a +1 though. No, it does allow you to increase by 1.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
If you roll lower.
This must be revised rules rather than the old school classic Sources of Embers where you could go 3 or 4 levels without getting more hit points if you roll really well one time.
Yeah, I just leveled this time actually. Yeah, so level 3 it is.
You leveled again?
Man, I am. Yeah, I am so sorry. Do not. That's so sorry. That escalated so quickly.
I couldn't tell what you were waiting for. And you're like, is he around a corner or not? Because I was thinking, like, I need to. I was like, do I need to stay within range in case he tries to shoot you?
I really like how we got the showcase of, hey, could you just like hack this security system that protects the elderly? And Minerva's like, that'd be unethical.
That was beautiful. Yeah, that was well role played.
That's a safety issue. I'm being shot at. That's a safety issue.
That was good too. I like that.
If you were going to continue to run instead of fighting,
was solid chase banter.
I was going to try to see if I could manually override doors and try to shut a door between you and him.
That'd have been good.
Yeah, I still think it was your teleport was perfectly timed, and then you even followed up better with the "I'll take that, thank you."
Really putting that new psionic powers to work.
Yeah.
All right. So before you get into thinking that you're in really deep shit, Van-Vee, I want to let you know that you can bribe the government $500 and they'll forgive a major crime.
We'll do this.
So if you just want to pay $500, the start of the next session will be you being released on your ship and being informed never to return here again.
How much would I have to bribe to be released and have the footage deleted?
That's a perfect starting conversation to convince the police to remove it. Because you need to bribe a human officer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that for me will be amazing. And it could allow you explaining things versus Minerva, because hacking takes a lot of time. So it could be You explaining versus does Minerva finish the hack first? I don't know if that's something we want to explore. It kind of sounds like Minerva doesn't want to do it for you, to be honest.
I got that vibe.
It's hilarious.
Minerva's not interested in being a criminal.
Okay.
Kain's characters only assist other gladiators.
Amazing.
You say that, and I'm remembering. Hey, will you be a pal? And if I'm losing, will you just murder me? Sure, friend. I'm a real friend.
Bros for life.
You know how it is. Kyle and Hunter. They're just roommates.
That was so good.
That was well done.
Do we have any new short-term goals or changes to long-term goals or a new crew goal? Of course, you can take the week to think about it, but if you have something right now that you don't want to forget about, now's the time to lock it in.
Well, we'll probably need to change the crew goal because we did it. It's done.
You have evaluated Zach Vos.
We have evaluated.
You found him wanting.
I just threw healing out there because I was pretty sure all of us have a -1 there, but we didn't look at any others. Sure. We all just like, nope, that's it. That's the one.
I mean, honestly, I think that is our main weakness.
My understanding of the auto dock is you throw somebody in it and it spends hours recovering them, and you can't.
I mean, what would be the typical for diagnosing? Would that be intelligence or treating?
You mean like medical diagnosis?
Yeah, like make medical rolls. Would that be like an intelligence
thing?
thing?
Honestly, the work skill.
Not the heal skill.
Oh, is there a heal skill? Sorry,
It is a heal skill.
Then I think it would probably be the heal skill. I would also accept work if your work was as a doctor.
What attribute would we roll with that?
Intelligence. Or
I guess I'm technically the best doctor on the ship then.
Well, let's be really clear here.
I'm not.
There is no doctoral board of medicine on the planet of Midipile, which has authorized you to engage in its services. You're not licensed to practice medicine anywhere.
Yeah.
I know that one reroll for an expert would help, but I'm loving all this extra HP for partial warrior. Especially when I keep ending up in awkward gunfights.
You're at 17 now?
You've killed 2 people in 3 episodes.
I didn't realize what it says. You get the 2. You get the 2 warrior per level, and then your Constitution bonus per level. So I'm just getting 9 right off the top.
2 for warrior per level.
Partial warrior per level. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not every level. It's some of the partial warrior levels, right? Or is that every level?
It says warriors and adventurers with the partial warrior class get further 2 hit points each time they advance a level.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're a healthy boy.
You're survivable.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously,
I know that
full-on warriors not only get more, but they can literally just ignore a full-on damage.
They get bonus attack.
I 80 hit point attack. I survive it for no damage.
And they get bonus attack bonus every time. Do we remind me again, do we round up or down? Like if our attack bonus is our level divided by 2?
I think you round down in this game.
Okay, so it'd be 1 plus the 1 for the bonus already. I'm still at 2 then. Okay.
And don't forget, you have to, if you don't take skills when you level, you have to find a teacher to teach you them later.
Yeah.
Quentin, are you picking up any new? You have to pick up new psionic skills. I just don't know if you're picking up any new psionic abilities.
I'm going to take Meta Psionics 1 to up that, and then I'll get mind tracing with that as the free for it, and I'll spend a point to get pressure field.
Pressure field. Very interesting. I don't know that would be useful in every campaign, but I assure you it will be useful in this campaign if you ever get around to doing the job you actually signed up for.
It'll happen. I swear.
So mind tracing lets you backhack other psionics. If they
I
use
can
a power
see
near
through
you
their
can
eyes.
I can't remember if it was the whole Jace and the beacon conversation. I didn't think Van-Vee was there, so I was trying to make it seem like he didn't know what the mission was.
No.
I know the player was listening, but I don't think Van-Vee was in the conversation.
I mean,
so I was trying to like act like I didn't know.
The real problem, though, is that you drew a gun on him first, which is why you have 2 crimes against you. It's not just armor.
Wearing armor and pulling the gun.
Yeah, you absolutely murdered this guy for sure.
Yeah, defense is going to be hard to defend.
I mean, you get out of it with money.
Yeah, it helps.
If you guys keep spending money at this rate, you're going to be in a real bad spot. That's all I'm going to say.
I think Van-Vee's the only one spending money.
Maybe.
That's rude.
I recall some equipment was purchased, but
Yeah.
No,
So putting ranks in a skill we don't have ranks in yet, we have to have a teacher?
no. If you don't buy the skill when you level up, and you hold on to the points until later, you have to find a teacher at that point.
Okay, so I'm good for
So,
that.
like, if you're like, I don't know what to spend my skill points on, and you want to do it later, then you have to find a teacher, which costs money and time.
Okay. I'm good to go then. I purchased no in shoot.
Nice.
Okay.
I figure with as an intelligence character, being a no person means that we might be able to, because I know one of the things you talked about is what are some of the things that Minerva might know from the past. I feel like the no skill would be recalling some of that information.
Yeah.
At least the stuff that doesn't pertain to the Prime Directive, which would be the stuff you'd be asking about.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, Quentin's definitely going to be asking Minerva about these metadimensional entities and what Minerva has or hasn't heard.
Yeah, and deciding whether or not you believe what Minerva's telling you.
Right.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Minerva knows less than what Iono Canto has already told you.
Which makes sense. Absolutely.
The mandate was never able to prove it. It was all just crazy theories.
Makes sense.
I don't know if it'll impact your abilities or skills, but now that we're level 3, we can get to skill level 2.
Yes.
So if you
But
really
gotta
want
pay
to,
the big bucks for that.
yeah, it costs 3 of your 4 skill points. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you
I
getting
don't get
pilot
as
too?
many. I don't get as many skill points as you do.
How many
When I
skill
level
points
up.
do you get?
I get 3. I don't get 4.
Oh, that's true. I need to think of them.
And
as
I start with
3 plus the.
And I start with 1 focus.
Yeah. Rolling skill points over there.
Health, skill points. I mean, you name it. This partial is great.
It's true. It's not bad.
If only you
Hey,
weren't currently looking at a double major crime rap right now.
I just need a friend with deep pockets, and I'm good.
If Minerva was less ethical, I now have access to level 2 routines. I could commit a processing point to be like, I have automatically hacked that and done whatever.
As long as it isn't protected by an artificial intelligence, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
If
so-
I remember last
But
session,
Minerva's a
you
very
said-
ethical character, so no.
Well,
She's
last
not going to do it
session-
for this.
Last session, you were like, "Oh, I can totally do that when I level again." Here you are leveling again. Oh, I can totally do it, but I won't do it for you.
Not for this.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair.
What I love about Van-Vee is I was worried Dunamis wouldn't be able to play up like the shitty rich kid, but definitely a dude just reaching into his pocket and paying off police officers after brutally assaulting and murdering a man.
Well, you know.
You are a sociopath, and you are that shitty rich kid. And let's hope your brother doesn't end up like you.
It's true. I do like man, the Twitch recommendation for my short-term goal: get off the hook without paying.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'd be a really cool goal.
That would be an extremely
That's
difficult
tough.
but amazing goal for
Yeah.
sure.
I might just bump
Silver
my talk.
Uh,
Need to bump talk some more. Say it's all his fault.
do we have a new goal for Quentin?
Let me ponder it a minute.
All right, we're running super late.
Yeah.
Minerva, goal? Yes or no?
Uh,
It's all right
I
if you
might.
don't have one.
I'm entertaining the idea of trying to attend a confession, but I'm not entirely sold
that's right.
because I want us to leave the system too. You know.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe that's something I could do while he has to wait to bribe
Yeah,
the right people and get out
course.
of jail.
There would definitely be. I mean, there's probably exactly one Catholic church on the Anglican retirement space center, but yeah,
Okay, then yeah, I'll make that my short-term goal is to go to confession.
go to confession. I actually
That'll
spent
be fun.
part of the week learning about confession and all the sacraments around it, and I'm definitely not going to use that language because I'm not authorized by God to give out. But we'll get something close, an approximation. I definitely just don't want people to think that I'm giving a real alien space mind a fully valid working Catholic confession. All right. Any closing thoughts here tonight, my friends?
Another great session.
I think that went pleasantly, exactly not at all the way that they wanted it to. It was fantastic.
I feel like I didn't do enough to describe the area that you guys are in because there was some confusion. Maybe I should have drawn it out or something. But
when you were saying
it
I
was
thought I could
definitely
just casually
very
walk
rushed,
up and be
very
like,
confused.
check this guy out. Let's get a hot dog.
In my mind's eye, there's like the whole water park is the background, and kind of like near the I imagine sort of like a Florida beach where it's all the like little like stands near the park with like drinks and food and all the old people sitting there having a great time. And we walked up to a hot dog stand near the pool and pulled a gun on a guy.
Fence, right? There's a back fence.
Yeah, with a fence.
No one except the people that were at the top of the water slide area were able to see what just happened.
When you described like the pulley system to move you around, I was picturing like if you go skiing on like the bunny slope, the thing you grab and it just pulls you up the hill.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
At 1/6 gravity.
Yeah. I think my only thing was in my mind for like the distancing. I wasn't sure like how many times would I have to run to get to the ship versus like how many times am I giving this guy a chance to shoot me?
I should have made clear a lot. You would have had to have been running for like hundreds of rounds.
Gotcha.
Yes. If you had just run in the long arc of probability, you would be dead long before you got back to the ship for being shot in the back.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That makes me feel better. That
so sorry.
Unfortunately, killed someone in that
situation. I really thought we could do that quieter, but you know,
you have the beacon now.
Maybe I should have just put points in sneak. Nah.
I'm also curious to see if when you vaporized him, if the ECM stopped or if the ECM was coming from the pen.
It did. It stopped as soon as he got vaporized. His equipment disappeared with him.
So the pen is not a quantum ECM that you're bringing on board the ship. That would be really annoying.
I removed your handcuffs, Minerva, and you still won't help me with the footage.
I mean, I'm going to help try to submit things on your behalf. I'm just not going to commit any crimes.
Bribe. Legal counsel is Minerva, who cannot lie and just ends up turning me in.
No, you can.
He committed this crime.
You can just not lying doesn't mean telling the truth. It just means not lying.
That's true.
You're just gonna be like,
information can be withheld.
Okay,
that was really fun. I not knowing anything about the system when we started 3 sessions in. This is one of my favorite systems so far, and I think a lot of it's the RP and the storytelling. So
yeah,
thank you.
I'm having a ton of fun.
I feel like you guys are having great RP. Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
AP, I am loving everything you're throwing at us so far. It is like you're covering so many like fun tropes in sci-fi. Just having a great time.
Here's my question: what are you going to tell Iona Kanto when she gets back to the ship?
I guess it depends on
how was
your people coming back.
What would she even notice, right? Like she would have noticed the emergency, and she would bring that up and talk about it. Yeah, we're gonna have to find. What were we up to? Oh, yeah, that was.
I mean, the other thing is, as far as Minerva answering questions, I mean, the captain was ignoring Minerva the entire initial exchange, so Minerva doesn't know anything about the initial aggression to get the item. As far as Minerva knows. There must have been some kind of failure conversation, and the other guy tried to kill Van-Vee.
Oh boy, it's going to be a real session.
I tried really hard to make that nonviolent, but
I just need to keep upping my talk skill.
I mean, I said words about it.
Non-violence, but to cover up the lies after the violence.
Yeah, we're going to be fine. It'll be fine. We'll get you out of it.
I mean, honestly, the worst is if we accomplish the mission and I just piss off my family again, that's really not that bad.
You're really inhabiting this character right now.
Doing a great job. I am the character.
Just made some apologies and some promises, and
A nice purse.
Sophie and y'all will be pissed, but I can send a letter of, hey, how you doing to Allie and Zach, and they'll be happy. 50%.
You just keep dropping big bags of cash in front of people and everything will be fine.
Perfect.
As long as the money keeps coming in, you still have some value to this guy.
The wheel keeps turning.
Yeah. Everyone is good for next week, so I guess I'll see you then.
sounds great.
Audience at home, have a good night. Or day. Whatever time it is for you, you know.